There comes a moment in every person's life when they must make a decision, a real decision, not the kind of decision you speak about, not the kind of decision you post online, not the kind of decision you tell your friends about, a private decision, a decision made in silence, a decision that says, I will no longer live below my potential. That moment changes everything, because from that moment forward, you stop waiting for life to change, and you begin changing yourself. Most people spend their lives waiting for motivation, waiting for confidence, waiting for opportunity, waiting for support, waiting for someone to believe in them, and while they wait, their life keeps moving. Days pass, weeks pass, months pass, years pass, and one day they wake up and realize they are living a life they never planned, not because they lacked talent, not because they lacked intelligence, but because they lacked decision. Decision is where transformation begins. When you decide, truly decide, something changes inside you. You stop negotiating with excuses. You stop telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll begin when things get easier. Because deep down, you realize something important. Life does not wait. Time does not slow down for fear. Time does not stop for doubt. Time does not care about excuses. Time moves, and if you do not move with it, you fall behind. That is why discipline matters. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect. Discipline is keeping promises you make to yourself. When you say you will wake up early, and you do it. When you say you will study, and you do it. When you say you will improve, and you do it. That builds confidence, because confidence is not built by positive thinking alone. Confidence is built by evidence. Evidence that you can trust yourself. Evidence that when life gets difficult, you do not run, you respond, you act, you continue. That is what creates personal power. And personal power changes everything. When you trust yourself, you speak differently, you think differently, you walk differently, because you know you are becoming someone stronger. Most people want success, but very few are willing to live like successful people live. They want the results without the discipline. They want the rewards without the sacrifice. They want the confidence without the struggle. But that is not how growth works. Growth demands something from you. It demands focus. It demands patience. It demands consistency. And above all, it demands responsibility. The moment you stop blaming others, your life changes. The moment you stop blaming your past, your life changes. The moment you stop blaming circumstances, your life changes. Because blame makes you weak. Responsibility makes you powerful. When you accept responsibility, you stop saying, why is this happening to me? And you start asking, what can I do now? That question changes your future. Because successful people focus on solutions. Average people focus on problems. Average people complain. Successful people adapt. Average people wait. Successful people act. Average people seek comfort. Successful people seek growth. And growth is uncomfortable. Growth will test you. It will challenge your habits. It will challenge your mindset. It will challenge your identity. There will be days when you feel tired, days when you feel alone, days when you feel like quitting. But those are not the days that destroy your future. Those are the days that define your future. Because anyone can work when they feel motivated. Anyone can feel excited when things are going well. But the real test of character is what you do when nothing feels easy. Do you quit or do you continue? That answer creates your destiny. Success is not built in comfortable moments. Success is built in uncomfortable moments. Moments when no one is watching. Moments when no one is clapping. Moments when progress feels invisible. That is where character is built. That is where greatness begins. And if you can win in those moments, you can win anywhere. Because life is not about talent. Talent helps, but talent without discipline creates wasted potential. And wasted potential is one of the saddest things in life. To know you could have done more. To know you could have become more. To know you had the ability, but never used it. Do not let that be your story. Start now. Not when everything feels perfect. Not when everyone supports you. Now. Because progress begins the moment excuses end. One of the biggest lies people tell themselves is this: I still have time. And yes, sometimes you do. But the danger is not that you have no time. The danger is believing you have unlimited time. Because when people think they have unlimited time, they delay, they postpone, they procrastinate. They tell themselves, I'll work harder later. I'll start learning later. I'll become disciplined later. I'll build my dream later. But later becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. Next month becomes next year. And before they realize it, years have disappeared. And regret begins to speak. Regret is quiet at first. It whispers, you could have done more. You could have tried harder. You could have started earlier, and the painful truth is, regret often arrives when opportunity has already passed. That is why urgency matters. Not panic, not stress. Urgency, the understanding that your time matters, the understanding that your potential matters, the understanding that every day matters. Every morning you wake up with another chance to improve, another chance to learn, another chance to become better. But chances mean nothing without action. Action is what separates dreamers from builders. Dreamers talk, builders work. Dreamers imagine, builders execute. Dreamers wait for perfect timing. Builders create momentum. So ask yourself, am I dreaming or am I building? Because your answer is shaping your future. And the truth is, your future is not created by what you want. It is created by what you repeat. What you repeat daily becomes your identity. If you repeat excuses, you become someone who avoids responsibility. If you repeat discipline, you become someone who creates results. Identity is built through repetition, not intention, not emotion. Repetition. This is why habits matter. Your habits are not small things. They are your future in disguise. The habit of waking up on time, the habit of reading, the habit of learning, the habit of exercising, the habit of planning, the habit of finishing what you start. These habits may seem ordinary, but ordinary habits create extraordinary lives. And negative habits, they do the opposite. Scrolling for hours, complaining every day, avoiding difficult tasks, running from responsibility. These habits slowly destroy potential, not in one day, but over years. And that is why habits are dangerous, because they work quietly, whether good or bad. They shape your life without asking permission. So choose your habits carefully, because your habits will eventually become your destiny. And destiny is not luck. Destiny is direction, and direction is chosen daily. With your actions, with your focus, with your standards. Standards matter. What you tolerate becomes your lifestyle. If you tolerate laziness, laziness becomes normal. If you tolerate excuses, excuses become your identity. If you tolerate mediocrity, average becomes your future. But if you raise your standards, everything changes. When you decide, I no longer accept being distracted. I no longer accept wasting time. I no longer accept broken promises to myself. That is when growth begins. Because your standards determine your results, and your results determine your confidence. Most people think confidence comes before action, but that is not true. Confidence comes after action, after effort, after discipline, after proving to yourself that you can do hard things. That is real confidence, not fake motivation, not temporary excitement. Real confidence is earned, and the beautiful thing is, anyone can earn it. You do not need special talent. You do not need perfect conditions. You just need consistency. Consistency is powerful. It is not glamorous. It is not exciting. It is often repetitive. But repetition builds mastery, and mastery creates opportunity. People admire successful individuals, but what they often do not see is the repetition, the boring mornings, the lonely practice, the unseen sacrifice, the private discipline. That is where success is built, not in public, in private, when no one is watching, when no one is praising, when no one is encouraging. That is where leaders are created. Because leadership begins with leading yourself. With leading yourself, can you control your mind? Can you control your emotions? Can you control your focus? Can you control your habits? If not, you will struggle to control your future. Self-leadership comes before external success. Win the morning, win your focus, win your habits, and eventually, you will win your life. Because success is never an accident. It is the result of repeated discipline. And discipline begins with one simple decision. I will not waste the life I have been given. There will be seasons in your life when nothing seems to work. You will put in effort and see no immediate reward. You will wake up early, work hard, stay disciplined, and still feel invisible. And in those moments, your mind will test you. It will ask, is this worth it? Am I really making progress? Does any of this matter? And that is where most people quit. Not because they are weak, but because they confuse silence with failure. Just because you do not see results does not mean results are not being built. Think about a seed. When you plant a seed, nothing happens on the surface. Days pass, sometimes weeks pass, and still, you see nothing. But underground, something is happening. Roots are growing, strength is building, a foundation is forming, and when the time is right, growth becomes visible. Your life works the same way. Many of your greatest breakthroughs are being built in silence. In the days when no one notices, in the moments when you feel forgotten, in the seasons when progress feels invisible. That is why patience matters. Patience is not weakness. Patience is strength under pressure. Patience is continuing without immediate reward. Patience is believing in the process. And if you can stay patient, you will go further than most people ever will. Because most people want quick results. They want instant success, instant money, instant recognition, instant confidence. But lasting success is never instant. It is earned slowly, built carefully, protected daily. And that is why discipline matters more than speed. Speed may impress people. Discipline changes lives. Do not rush your growth. Respect your process. Every challenge you face is teaching you something. Every setback is revealing something. Every failure is preparing you for something. But only if you learn. Failure is not your enemy. Failure is feedback. Failure shows you where you need to improve, where you need to focus, where you need to grow. Successful people fail too. Often, the difference is, they do not stop. They study the lesson. They adjust. They continue. That is what winners do. They do not make excuses. They make improvements. And improvement is the language of growth. Every day, ask yourself, what can I improve? What can I do better? What habit needs attention? What weakness needs work? Because self-awareness creates self-improvement, and self-improvement creates self-respect.